why no one respects Packgod anymore. He's been getting way more negativity lately, and a lot of people started hating him. So we're gonna find out today why people don't like Packgod anymore.
From going viral as a king of roasts to losing the respect of his own audience, we'll be exploring how Packgod's toxic empire collapsed when the kids he trained to attack others decided to use those same tactics against him.
And it only makes sense because if you make negative type videos such as roasting people, you're gonna attract those type of viewers to your audience and community. So when he messes up, they're gonna let him know times 100 why he sucks. But we're gonna dive even deeper with this video.
Packgod pioneered Discord packing, live-streamed roast battles where participants engage in rapid-fire insults, which became a viral sensation through platforms like YouTube and TikTok. It's basically just yelling into the mic to see whoever is the loudest in the room.
I do not know why you talking when you got a Decepticon going your nostril, bro. Come on, boy. If you don't get your tangerine, Mr. Clean, can I get a jelly bean? You're in Stain Rusty Drain Destiny 2 DLC campaign.
But you might even describe Packgod's content as middle school roasts that make absolutely zero sense.
It doesn't, but a lot of people like it. I'm one of those, especially when I see his random clips on TikTok at like 1 a.m. I don't know, it'd be tickling my brain. I'm not gonna be sitting here thinking that it's not funny. It literally is. That's why he's popular for it.
His roasting format was extremely consistent. He'd drop a barrage of loud, nonsensical insults directed towards e-girls or furries, leaving them extremely confused as their brains are assaulted by random nonsense and occasionally ear damage due to his loud screaming, all while adding extremely fast-paced editing to maximize the brain rot.
I'm dissing on JJ Alatunje when you fight Jake, maybe someday forehead long like a runway, switching out my floors like that wet beans.
And he was smart because the bigger the influencer that he's roasting and making fun of, if he gets a video with them, he's gonna get a lot of views because their community is gonna go over towards that video and find Packgod. And also, since for example KSI has a subreddit, the subreddit will go ahead and pin the video to the top, or it'll get really like popular just because his community itself is really negative. So anything of making fun of KSI will literally get you a lot of views, and that's why Packgod's video literally blew up.
This formula somehow propelled him to over 5 million subscribers in just under 2 years after launching his channel on August 15, 2022. With a huge fan base that hyped up anything he did, Packgod is the only person with such talent and power to be able to put Gordon Ramsay's roast to shame. The thing I love most about
he's pretty
Packgod
good
is his ability to somehow make each video better than the last. Truly one of the best creators of this generation.
He's not lying.
But his most viral moments came from targeting controversial figures like Sneeko and EDP445.
There we go again. Really popular people that he's making videos about, their audience will go ahead and find Packgod's video and watch it, because these two creators, for example, cultivate just a negative amount of viewers and audience members. So they're gonna literally laugh and point at them just like everyone else normally does.
Watch how Packgod's quote roasting of Sneeko was really just piggybacking off a bigger creator's notoriety, screaming random insults while Sneeko just sits there, probably wondering why he agreed to this.
You like Barack Obama's autistic cousin? What talking no how my dumbass boy, you ugly shut your ugly ass up, boy. And the dude in the back, you like a suicide girl from Halo 3, your ass ugly boy. Hey yo, EDP, yo, ridicle pants. Tell me why your ears are in the nether, your eyebrows are on max brightness, and your neck is an incognito mode, boy. You like the Muffin Man's drug dealer, boy. You got a level 6 Diglett sticking out the top of your head.
Diglett. That man said Diglett! This is why he's popular. He's funny. I'm not gonna lie, he's hilarious. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend he's not. That's why he's popular for it.
What made Packgod's content particularly concerning wasn't just its lack of substance, but how it actively encouraged mob behavior.
It literally
Viewers
did.
weren't just laughing at his targets, they encouraged him to harass them further. This pattern of toxic behavior,
of course, they're gonna want even more and more and more. And if your job as a content creator is to make better and better content as time goes on, you're gonna up the antics a little bit more. So he's kind of like screwing himself a little bit.
Would become Packgod's signature and ultimately his downfall. And by mid-2024, the cracks in Packgod's empire were beginning to show. But the real catastrophe did not start with his cringe content, it started with the person who helped him build his channel from the ground up. It began with what fans now refer to as the leg betrayal in 2022. They met in 2020, and after 2 years of a seemingly successful partnership, the avalanche started when Leg suddenly revoked Packgod's access to their joint channels, social accounts, and revenue streams without any warning.
Blocked my number, removed me as a friend on Discord, and deplatformed me from every single account. You changed the password on the Instagram and kicked
Oh,
me off
man.
it. You changed the password on...
That's why you gotta be careful who you're friends with. Especially with him, for example, he had 50-50. But since he had more access than him, he can just kick him out anytime he wanted to on any of the platforms that they were sharing.
our Twitter and kicked me off it. You changed the password on our SoundCloud and kicked me off it. You changed the password on our Spotify.
And if that wasn't bad enough,
Sucks.
Leg even took every single cent of revenue along with him.
Spotify, in which
Wow.
you're getting paid
Crazy.
every single month for the music that I made, and you kicked me off the DistroKid, so now every single month, you will be getting payments from my music and not be giving me one dime.
And all Packgod received was just one message
Sucks,
saying
man.
you will get your cut on September 1st. What followed was a messy public feud with accusations flying from
I just don't understand, like, why is he getting a cut when he's the one that's making the content? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Well, maybe they were cool with that and he just ran the channel for him, you know, Leg. But that's so weird.
both sides. It started with Packgod accusing Leg of sabotaging his business behind his back,
So at this point, Leg is offering to sell both the Void channel and the Packgod and Leg channel. This one for $75,000.
$75,000 for 2 channels? It's not worth that. 75,000? Who would buy that? Especially once you have the channel. Like, what are you supposed to do with it when you're the owner? Because it's not like you can pretend to be them. Like, people are there for Packgod. So if they don't get Packgod after like 1 to 2 videos, they're gonna unsubscribe from the channel. And then your investment of $75,000 is gonna be a waste. Just doesn't make any sense, like, whatsoever. Why?
So dude's just gonna sell both of our channels and not even ask me.
and ghosting editors who were owed money,
It's done. I say it's ready, and
Ghosted
then he ghosts
editors.
Me, and I've spent 120 hours of my time to get no recognition, and video doesn't even get uploaded.
while taking away all the monthly income from these channels.
All that I am asking in this situation is just access back to my rightful 50-50 ownership.
But Leg's
Oh, man.
response revealed something Packgod hoped would stay buried. Packgod refused to pay editors for their work. The
Oh,
same
no.
person crying about stolen money was allegedly stealing from his own team.
And you were never paid or credited for it.
Nope.
So you reached out to Packgod's girlfriend, and you also reached out to him, and you got no response.
Nope.
So right now, Maya and Packgod
Oh,
are equal
man.
brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
But unfortunately for him, what's
I understand the finesse that these guys were doing. It makes sense. Because these guys were big YouTubers, the editors were like, all right, you'll just pay me later. You're a big channel. Of course, you have the money to pay me. And if you can't pay me, then maybe you'll shut me out or something. But obviously, it looks like he wasn't paying them, which sucks because if you don't know, they pulled so much subtitles and effects in the video that it must take hours upon maybe days. So I'm curious to see like why they accepted not to get paid for so long.
started as digital drama took a terrifying turn into real-world violence. According to Packgod's own testimony,
Violence.
Leg's friends allegedly orchestrated the swatting of his family home.
That your
Oh, no.
best friend and the co-owner of your Discord server swatted my family.
The feud became so well known that Packgod even released a Leg diss track that circulated widely on Spotify, targeting Leg with lyrics like, "Stop making effing excuses for being a thieving little rat. When you scammed for those edits, how you gon' barely do work?" Which further turned their personal beef into public content. Their
Oh,
conflict
no.
wasn't just a private matter, it had become entertainment for millions.
Wait, so I'm kind of confused. Did Leg and Packgod both not pay the editors, or was it Leg not paying the editors? Because you have to remember they were working together on the same channel, so they're both in the wrong. That's weird.
With drama channels producing videos like The Downfall of Leg that documented every messy detail. But despite the betrayal and loss of access to his original channels, Packgod quietly started taking over by creating new Discord and YouTube channels, gaining over 5 million subscribers and hundreds of millions of views by 2025.
And also, he got a lot of shoutouts from big YouTubers. I remember I seen him on a KSI Reddit video. He shouted him out telling his audience, yeah, he got scammed. kicked out the channel. Go subscribe to Packgod.
While Packgod celebrated his fresh start with new channels and millions of subscribers, he failed to address the fundamental flaw in his content strategy. You can't build an empire on toxicity and expect it to last.
I don't know. I've seen people on TikTok do that all the time and they're still getting super popular.
Because while viewers were laughing at what appeared to be unscripted reactions, a very different reality was unfolding behind the scenes, one that would eventually catch up with Packgod in the most dramatic way possible. Packgod's rise wasn't just built on tasteless content, it was built on a foundation of fake authenticity and exploitation that ran far deeper than his audience realized. While Packgod's audience believed they were watching authentic 3 AM chaos, one insider revealed the truth. It was filmed at 2 PM and was scripted.
Oh no, not the scripted. I mean, it only makes sense. It's like back then when all the pranksters used to go ahead and make all these really funny prank videos, and now on TikTok too. But obviously, the bigger you get, the more craziness you want to film. But it's gonna be really hard to get it realistically, so you gotta pay to get someone to fake some stuff for you. But wow, that's crazy that he went down that void.
Detail that reveals just how little respect Packgod had for his audience's intelligence. Every single spontaneous roast, every random encounter were all fake. And he was making anywhere from $43 to $700 daily from this deception, according to estimates. But Packgod didn't realize he was creating a ticking time bomb. A viral video by YouTuber FlazeFire debunked his content as overly edited and artificial, revealing awkward and less impressive real interactions behind the scenes.
Well, after all of my research, I have determined that yes, Packgod's videos are fake. Kinda. It's complicated. Because they're fake in the way that professional wrestling is fake, which is to say that the fight is prearranged and the moves are all scripted, and the winner is already decided.
This undermined Packgod's reputation for being a genuine king of roasting and led to a loss of trust among viewers. However, even more concerning was Packgod's deliberate targeting of vulnerable groups. When he included disclaimers in his video descriptions stating his content was, quote, made for entertainment purposes, the impact of his content told a different story, as it seemed like a move designed to avoid YouTube's anti-bullying policies. But here is where things get even more complicated. Packgod often included links to his targets' social media accounts in his video descriptions.
Obviously, if he dedicated a whole video roasting them, the audience is just gonna go to their page and start literally flooding their comment section with negative stuff. That only makes sense. I mean, I guess if they were okay with it, but even if I did it for clout, all I'm gonna get is a bunch of little kids trolling me. I mean, if I was working with Packgod on these fake videos, but I don't know.
In the video The Truth About Packgod, he claimed this was actually helping these individuals by giving them exposure, like one video featuring an e-girl where he linked directly to her Discord server.
What happens, guys, is that a lot of times people either A, just after the fact come to me and they're like, hey, like, can you just plug my social medias in the videos? And I'm like, sure. Or B, they're like, the only way I'm cool with this video even staying up is if you put my social medias in the descriptions. So that's why, like, I even do that in the first place. I'm not trying to send a hate wave towards anybody, and I haven't actually put anybody's social media in the description of a video that they themselves have not wanted it to be there.
That doesn't make any sense. If I'm being roasted for the whole video, I'm just gonna get a bunch of people hating on me when they click the link. That makes no sense. I mean, it's a good deal for him, but bad deal for the person being roasted. You're not gonna build anything like good from that.
Explanation falls apart when you look at the power dynamic. A creator with millions of followers directing traffic to smaller accounts creates a flood of attention that can quickly turn toxic, especially when most of those followers are middle schoolers and have watched 10 minutes of their idol aggressively roasting that person.
Exactly.
Whether this was exploitation disguised as promotion or genuine cross promotion is something his viewers began questioning more and more. He made fun of a teenage girl, then afterward linked their Instagram in the bio, encouraging his followers to arrest them. Don't you think
crazy.
That's a bit effed up? But if you think fake content was bad, wait until you see what his fanbase became. Because unfortunately for Packgod, his most dedicated viewers would become one of the primary reasons for his downfall. What started as an enthusiastic community quickly devolved into one of the most toxic fanbases I have ever seen. And his comment section is full of misogyny too whenever he insults a woman. By mid-2024, Packgod's fanbase had become so insufferable that they themselves became targets for ridicule across social media.
What the hell is wrong with my
Boy, you need to shut your skin tone Google Chrome Garden Gnome flip phone off!
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It's not just Packgod. Literally anyone who's super duper popular, who has like kind of a toxic fan base, like for example KSI, you just attract those type of people. Like, it's not just Packgod.
The phrase average Packgod fan became shorthand for someone with no original thoughts, desperately trying to imitate their favorite creator's style, but failing miserably. This created a devastating snowball effect as a result. As more people began associating Packgod's content with his cringe fanbase, it became socially toxic to admit you watched his videos. Former fans started distancing themselves, not wanting to be lumped in with the stereotype of a Packgod viewer, typically portrayed as an immature teenager who thinks screaming nonsensical insult means peak comedy. I used to be a Packgiv mead rider a few years ago and loved anything he made. Now I realize he just throws a bunch of random stuff together and calls it a roast.
Okay, that was pretty obvious from the very first video that anyone probably watched of him. It's like, yeah, exactly. So why are you coming to the realization now? Like, it was never hidden.
He's so cringe now, I regret watching him. However, the mockery extended beyond just the fanbase. People began dissecting Packgod's actual content, pointing out how his once sharp roasts had devolved into meaningless word salad. All he does is scream random things into the mic, which does not deserve 5 million subs.
Okay, so I think I understand what's going on. When you're a very popular person, a lot of people are going to start dissecting every small little thing you do. For example, Mr. Beast, when he started doing all those wonderful charity things, like donate money to like Africa organizations and stuff. You know, there's people out there who still roast and make fun of him because they'll dissect any small little issue they have when they notice something doesn't align right. And it's only because he's super popular. So I think what's going on is because Packgod is popular, obviously people are going to dissect any small little thing he does. That's just the basic thing of the internet. They love you when you're small, then when you're big, they start hating you and finding you annoying.
Always most of the time uses the same insults on different people.
Like, there's no way they genuinely thought his roasts were good. You can't even understand them. It'll literally just be noise.
The more people mocked both Packgod and his fans, the more reasonable viewers abandoned ship. But the most powerful blow to Packgod's reputation came from his own audience, as one stream with low tier god changed everything.
I heard you were 5'1", bro.
I don't know where you got that information from, but I think you're horribly mistaken.
Somebody said he was 5'1". Is that true?
No, I already told you how tall.
Bro, let me look this dude up. What the fuck?
After this, a meme about his height being 5'1" became a shorthand way for viewers to mock him. The community that once celebrated his aggressive roasting style had turned his own tactics against him, collectively
Bro, it's just like the KSI audience. They loved him in the beginning. Now anything that he does, they just hate him. I don't think it's a Packgod thing specifically. I just think it's a thing where when you're popular, people eventually are just gonna get really sick of you. Kind of like the Mr. Beast stuff too.
Describing him as corny, cringe, and declaring that being a Packgod fan in 2025 is embarrassing. The question isn't whether Packgod's career is over, it's how he lasted this long. It's no surprise that as of May 2025, Packgod's channel sits stagnant at 5.24 million subscribers, a number that hasn't meaningfully increased in months. His Instagram and X engagement have plummeted, with most comments coming from a small but vocal group of anti-furry supporters who remain loyal despite the controversy.
Very supportive.
The financial devastation tells the real story. In April 2024, Packgod was pulling an estimated $18,000 monthly, enough to live comfortably while screaming nonsense at teenagers. Fast forward to April 2025, and those earnings have crashed to mere hundreds per day. Given Packgod's content style, often controversial, profane, and sometimes age-restricted, it's possible that YouTube's algorithm actively suppresses his videos to avoid promoting content that risks violating guidelines or advertiser preferences. As the internet continues to evolve, creators who prioritize engagement through toxicity might generate short-term success, but it creates a foundation too fragile to sustain. Packgod's downfall proves a simple truth. When you teach an audience that harassment is content, don't act surprised when they apply those lessons to you.
What I can gather from watching this whole video, people hate him because he got really popular and started dissecting every little small thing he was doing to the point where they just found him cringe. Yeah, the typical thing you see on the internet once you become popular. It's just like a band. People like the band in the beginning when they're really tiny and small, and then when they go mainstream, people start hating them. Yeah, stuff like this has been going on for literally decades, so it's nothing new. But anyways, help me reach 100 subscribers. I am a small channel. Help your boy out. Anyways, goodbye.